Toby.
Do it. All right, this meeting is being recorded, is what we just heard. So that means it's time to get started. Welcome everybody to this week's community conversation. Thanks to Maddie's. My name is Jose Ocaño. I'm the founder and CEO of Hatching. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later during national announcement. But I'm excited for what we have today. You're going to hear from a dynamic speaker about a really important topic. But before we get there, I want to introduce my awesome co-host, Lawrence. Lawrence, it's great to see you and do this with you today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing pretty well. Glad to be here. Glad to be here again for such a great speaker. I'm looking forward to this topic, and I'm glad just to be able to co-host with you. So I'm enjoying all the energies. I'm ready to get started.
Yes, and you will get to hear from Lawrence on September 11th at the next Maddie's Community Conversation Call. More to come on that. So, Lawrence, you and I were talking last week just in preparation for this call, and we were talking about the question of the day. And so, because the topic today with Shanye is about behavior on a budget, accessibility for behavior assistance,
Our girl
we started
Shani
to think about.
right?
Oh, hey, Ed, we can hear you. We started to talk a little bit about behavior dogs, and I just looked to my side and I saw my three-legged pit bull type dog named Nugget, who is one of those pups from a shelter, very reactive, very defensive with other dogs. And I started to think about how he teaches me so much. He teaches me patience. When he's all like being reactive, I'm like, oh, that's maybe what I look like when I'm being reactive. So he teaches me to like self-reflect a lot. Tell me a little bit about your pup, Champagne, your foster pup.
Yeah, well, right now, 2 weeks into foster with Champagne, and she's teaching me about how to recalibrate and understand a lot about training. I have a training background myself, but we always learn from our experiences. And so she has a little bit of separation anxiety. And so it's really interesting and novel just to see, how she behaves and how she reacts to me. And so I have to always just be mindful of what I'm doing and how I operate and how that may, keep her relaxed and calm and help her through her journey in life.
I love that. We're always learning. So the question of the day is, because I know so many of us who work in this space, we all have brought home, a pup or a kitten who needed a little more time, space, to kind of take into account the behavior that they're exhibiting in the shelter. So there is that question. So think about a pet you've adopted or fostered that had some behavior challenges, or as I like to think about them, opportunities. And what was their name and what did they teach you? Let's see.
Such a good question.
What about for you, Shanye? Who's that for you?
There's been a lot. Specifically, I have my forever foster, who's now my adopted pet, Hamlin. When he first came to me, he was super reactive. He just had a lot of fear-based aggression that caused him to have these large reactions to things in his environment that weren't very big. And I realized with my own anxiety, a lot of times it causes me to become here when something is very small. And he definitely taught me how to manage that. And it's been great to kind of see as he grows, I grow. And we're both kind of just out here chilling together. So
as he grows, I grow. I'm going to think about that. Jennifer, you have something to share with us?
I do. Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Cohen. I'm with Danny and Ron's Rescue. So there have been many fosters. I foster failed a few times. That's the best way to fail. And I was fostering a 3-week-old kitten who the shelter called me and said, this kitten was mangled. Her front leg is not looking good. We're going to euthanize her, or if you'll take her, we'll amputate it, and hopefully you can, work your love and care and magic and see if she survives. So of course I took her, didn't think she would make it through the night, but she did. I foster failed. I named her Mabel because she has an M pattern on her head. And this cat is so capable and able that M plus able is Mabel. And she runs faster than my dog on 4 legs, my other cat on 4 legs. She is not this dainty thing. She wants to be outside. And it reminded me, and it's a good story that I tell people, do not discount different pets and pets that look like they're not worthy of love. That she's this amazing cat with so much personality, and it hurts me to think that just because she had a problem with her leg, that she would not have been eligible, she wouldn't have had a chance. And it reminds me that everyone has challenges, but it's how you deal with your challenges and you don't let anything stop you. And in my role as development director, I kind of keep that in my mind a lot of times. So thanks for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. And I love all the things people are putting in the chat, like, because I think part of what's beautiful about the human animal bond is this kind of like we're learning from each other, and my pets teach me all the things. So keep those coming. I can't wait to actually go back to the chat and read them. It's now time for some national updates. And I believe, Robin Vincent, are you on? Are you on yet? Because
yes.
I know you haven't. There you are. Hello.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm so excited. You're going to kick off our national announcements. And if anyone else has them, if you want to just use the raise your hand feature so I can go in order. And we try and keep these, under a minute. But Robin, tell me what's going on with Journey You Own. I'm so excited.
Okay, great. I'm glad you're excited because I am too. So hello, everybody. My name is Robin Vincent, and I work with Dr. Jyoti Robertson on Journey You Own. I wanted to really quickly let everyone know about our latest offering, which we created thanks to Maddie's Fund, and you can find on Maddie's University, called it's the Journey You Own Practices for Wellbeing and Productivity. And it's an introductory course to help people discover practical strategies to create more space and incorporate contemplative practices into their lives. It really just to help you get to a place where you feel more whole and more fulfilled in your work and your personal life. Knowing how busy everybody is, the course is designed as kind of a choose your own adventure type format. So you don't have to go through it linearly. It makes, it's made for you to like open it up, take a look, see what interests you, and just kind of jump around to whatever feels most relevant to you at the time. And you can also earn CE, so it's beneficial in a lot of ways. But also, as a supplement to this course, we are also offering a deep dive meeting series, which is a series of Zoom conversations led by Dr. Robertson that explore the ideas and the practices covered in the course. Now, you don't have to have finished the course or even take it to participate in the deep dive series. And each session is it's 50 minutes and will include like insights and discussions about the topics from the course, and also a chance to really sort of shape future courses. Let's see what else. All of the sessions are super flexible. You can register once and attend any of them you like. Videos on, off. You can come to participate or just sit back and listen and take in whatever feels right to you. So I will drop the registration links to both the course and the meeting series in the chat, and I look forward to seeing everyone there.
I love it. And because I'm registered and I've been taking the course online, and it's really helping me. And I'm going to give a quick national update, and then I'm going to go to you, Lindsay. So because it ties into what you just announced. So I founded a company called Hatching, where we help people with the skills and mindsets to live better and work better. So it's personal and professional growth and development. And I'm launching this thing called Hatching Hour, which is where there's going to be these calls twice a month. It's really more so of a gathering where we're going to bring different experts in, and we're going to talk about things like compassion and forgiveness and self-worth and gratitude and boundaries and radical acceptance. And so I'm going to drop the information. September 6th, so is the day we're also launching. So you could spend your morning with Dr. Jyoti Robinson at 10 Pacific time. Come over at 3 p.m. to end your day with me. And our special guest that day is actually Dr. Jyoti Robertson, and we're going to be talking about self-compassion. So I just added the info in the chat, and I cannot wait to see y'all there. And this is for family, this is for teams, this is for individuals. This call really is geared towards anyone who wants to live better and work better, and do that through a compassionate lens. All right, Lindsay, you're up, my friend.
Hey everyone, it's Lindsay Hamrick with HSUS. I just wanted to let everyone know that our shelter mentorship applications have opened through September 10th. I'll put a link in the chat. We work on issues for community cats, pet inclusive housing, and capacity building. And each of the mentorships comes with a $15,000 grant and about a year spent talking with us about policy and program work around those 3 areas.
Awesome. Thanks, Lindsay. Dr. Sheila, how are you? Good to see you. What you got for us?
I am good, Jose. Good to see you. I have 2 things really quickly. First, Dr. Sheila Segerson with Maddie's Fund. The Human Animal Support Services Behavior Job Alike meeting is our next one is this Thursday, August 31st at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, where we will be talking about dog introductions in the shelter environment. 2-part series this month and next month. So it should be a good one. Please join. And then also Maddie's Insights, our next webcast, where we have a scientist, Dr. Malini Suchak, in this example, talking about their research, which is social behavior and implications for bonded pairs in grouped house shelter cats. So she's going to be talking about things like how can we evaluate whether cats are bonded, what research is out there, and what should we do when deciding whether to adopt out cats as a bonded pair. And that's Thursday, September 14th at noon Pacific time. So hope to see you at that one. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Nadia, ¿cómo estás? What you got for us?
Hola. Hi, everyone. I'm Nadia with the UC Davis Correct Shelter Medicine Program. I have a couple quick announcements. So first and foremost, if you're a California-based animal shelter or animal control agency, we've opened up our grants page. The application period will actually be in mid-September, but we have already released a sneak peek of the application and everything that you need to prepare for that application period. If you're not a California shelter or animal control agency, I also want to invite you to join our roundtable series. So we have 2 more left. I'll drop the link in the chat for you to RSVP. The next one will be focused on intake prevention, and then the last one will be focused on return to home. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Then we have Jennifer and then Charlotte, and then we're going to get started with our conversation with Shanye. Jennifer, you're up.
Yes, thank you. This is Jennifer from HSUS as well. Just wanted to remind everyone that Animal Care Expo 2024 is coming up May 15th through 18th in San Antonio. Just to save the date reminder for now, we'll have registration open in the fall. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right. Charlotte, bring us home with the national announcements.
Thanks, Jose. Hey, everyone. I'm sharing an update on behalf of the Maddie's Fun education team. So we will be opening up our applications for our upcoming online instructor-led courses. We'll have 10 different courses being offered, from transport programs to care pathways, which Dr. Sheila Segerson is leading. Classes will start in October. The application period opens this Thursday, August 31st until September 13th. So I'll share the link to learn more about those courses being offered in the chat. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody, for those national updates. I know there's lots of links in the chat with lots of comments. So when you get a moment, go through, and I'm sure all the things you'll need will be on this recording and on the Maddie's Pet Forum. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to my pal Lawrence, who's going to introduce our dynamic, wonderful human of a speaker. Lawrence.
Thank you. And I have quite the privilege to introduce our speaker. We have someone who is an avid animal lover, 13-year vet of animal welfare, a passionate proponent of education, especially when it comes to animal behavior, who is currently pursuing a degree in psychology, and that connects with me because she wants to really dig deeper into understanding the brain, learning, and getting into animal behavior. CPDT credentialed trainer, as well as the current behavior manager at Operation Kindness, which is a 501c3 shelter out of Carrollton, Texas. She's headlining a team right now that's really focused on elevating all of the surrounding pets, the companion pets, and the people within their community. And another thing for me that I want to highlight is She's also not a Cowboys fan, though she's in Texas, which is a mark for me being from DC. But for everyone here, I want to really highlight that she is about to elevate all of us on and that are here in attendance on the accessibility of behavior assistance. So I want to present, and please give a warm digital applause to our speaker, Shanya Johnson.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was such a great intro. I can't believe you just outed me like that. So now I have to walk around in like a bulletproof vehicle. I do appreciate that intro. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and take y'all through this presentation. I am a fast talker, so hopefully I can get y'all all of the information you need. And if you do have questions, we should have some time on the end for those to be answered. So as Lawrence did let y'all know, my name is Shanya Johnson, and I am a behavior manager over at Operation Kindness. We see about 5,000 animals a year, and because we are closed intake, there are people that we aren't able to take in their animal, but we still want to provide as many resources as we possibly can to be able to support them in their journey. So today we're going to cover a few different topics. We're going to talk about some common surrender reasons that we see pets coming into our shelter for behavior. We are going to look at the current cost of pet training for my area. I recommend that everyone does the same. Just look at what pet training costs around you and what the expectation is for how many sessions trainers are recommending. So when we're giving advice to our clients, we really understand what we're telling them to do. We're going to talk about different shelter resources that we use at Operation Kindness to help support adopters, general public members, pretty much anyone who walks through the door. We're like, hey, we have something for you. And then we're going to talk about partnerships and alternative support options that y'all can build relationships and partnerships with to support your community and the people that you serve. So if y'all just want to pop into the chat, what are some current surrender reasons that pass through your organization? They may not all be the same. It may be dependent on location or resources that are available near your organization. So just pop in some reasons into the chat as why y'all are seeing some of those animals come in. So I had our amazing staff member, Megan, pull some data for us to find out why pets were actually being brought to Operation Kindness. And aside from reasons such as moving or change to members in the household, we saw that the top 5 were people were generally not ready for a pet. They just were like, hey, this was more than I bargained for. The pet had some behavior challenges, so reactivity, jumpy, mouthy, or elimination challenges like litter box challenges or pottying inside. Some people found out they were allergic. Bummer. I swell up when I touch cats. That doesn't stop me from touching them. But we definitely understand that some people's allergies fluctuate way more than mine may be able to tolerate. The existing pet did not accept, or the pet was just generally too active. They felt like they were too energetic and needed too much, and they weren't able to provide that for them. Over my first fiscal year at Operation Kindness, we saw almost 200 requests from owners looking to keep their pets, but needed help in finding resources that were able to fit their needs. So I looked at current trends of what's out here in Dallas in the Fort Worth area, who is actually here that owns pets, and is the community that we are serving. And what I found out was that around 2 million people are in the Dallas and Fort Worth area. And of that 2 million, close to 50% actually own pets. So there's a lot of people out there that need our resources. We're looking at about 1 million pets, and about 50% of those being dogs, and about 28% of those being cats. While there were some small fluctuations in the age of the people that were pet owners, such as 5 to 10% from 25 all the way up to 65 and older, we also saw about a 50% break, whether people had kids or not. And this is really important because it lets us know that there's just not one type of person that's looking for behavior assistance. It's families, it's single individuals, it's widows, it's divorcees, it's people that are younger, just getting to college, or older and retiring. So we're seeing a variety of people that need behavior resources, and we need to make sure that the resources we provide are just as flexible. So does anyone want to guess the amount? You can pop those numbers in the chat of what it costs to actually get your pet trained. Some of us may have done it ourselves. Some of us may have gone to large organizations to do training, or some may have sought private training or board and train. What do you guys think it cost? So I pulled some of these numbers for some trainers that are local to our area. And I want to start this with saying I absolutely support our trainers in our area. I'm not here to bash anyone on their pricing. I think you should charge what you feel you are worth. However, we do have to make sure that we have resources available across the full spectrum of people that are coming into our organization. Looking at a big name trainer for a group training of about 5 to 6 weeks, it costs about $150, or a private session is about $150 as well. The challenge with that is for group sessions, your dog needs to be generally social and basically needs to work on puppy manners in order to be in a group setting at a big name organization. The private sessions do get you one-on-one, but you are paying $150 per session. A board and train session will cost you $1,950 for 2 weeks. If you have a dog that is experiencing some aggression, you're looking at $400 per 60-minute session. And if you're looking into a fear-free trainer, so someone that follows the Lima standard protocol of the least intrusive and minimally aversive standard that we all recommend, you're paying $150 for a session, and board and train can cost you up to $3,000 for a 2-week period. It is recommended that for those hour-long sessions that people take 4 to 6 weeks minimum, and if doing board and train, that they do 2 weeks minimum. And again, group classes cannot have challenging behaviors, and the person must also be able to travel to and from those locations regularly. I know. It's pretty expensive, and we're all shocked. They want the coins. And a lot of our clients are coming in and they don't have the $3,000 to put up front to solve the behavior opportunities, as Jose mentioned, that they are having in the home. But that is what it cost. And our cat friends are not any better. They do require a lot as well. So when I looked at 2 different trainers for cats in our area, it was difficult because, one, there aren't very many out there. Cat behaviorists are difficult to find, and even general cat trainers as well. They typically cost more than dog training because it is considered a specialty. And trainer A only offered starting at 90-minute sessions for $350, but they did offer a virtual consult for $295. And trainer B had a $300 flat rate with each session lasting about 60 minutes, but there was no time limit. And they did offer that virtually as well. And trainer B also offered grants through an organization if the person was unable to afford it. And of course, a cat would want to pay in friskies, but we actually have to pay for our training classes in money. So sometimes we just want to say the easy solution is, well, just train it, then you can keep it, and you don't have to surrender your animal. I'm sorry, that's the wrong type of training. Okay, sometimes we say just train it, then you can keep it, and the person will be able to just do it. But the reality is that training can be pricey for those with lower available income. Being able to afford training is a luxury in certain areas, as we saw by those graphics before. And our data from the US Census also showed us that we are seeing a variety of different families that do need our services. So we have to make sure that our services can fit those schedules as well. Maybe it's a busy family and they can't attend the usual 9 to 5 sessions. And some trainers don't have weekend availability, or they're continuously booked. Another issue we ran into with availability is that our trainers were pretty much booked at least 2 weeks out. So if our person was facing a challenge of, hey, my landlord says my dog is barking too much and I need to get something done right away, or I have to give them up, and our trainer can't see them virtually for 2 weeks, and then they can't see them in person for another 2 weeks, that's a month, and they don't just have that time. So we're looking to make these options more accessible in terms of how available our trainers are as well. The last challenge that people let us know when we were addressing setting them up with trainers through our organization was that they were having trouble getting to the locations for these training sessions. So I pulled the data from Dallas Transit, DART, and they see about 220,000 passengers daily using their public transportation. If you have a large breed dog, putting him on your city bus is going to be a little difficult to get him all the way to that store to start your training class. So we want to make sure we offer other options than just in person. My team's goals were to make behavior and training more accessible for individuals with lower available income, with schedules with lower with flexibility, and with limited transportation needs. And when I came on board, they had already started great work. They were doing behavior resource counseling via email and phone. And we had a donated fund that allowed us to see about 12 dogs a year, investing about $400 into their training. We did have client feedback that it was too expensive to continue after we paid for the initial sessions, as we saw they could be spending up to $3,000 for that 2-week training session. And they also said that they had difficulty keeping schedule due to their work schedule and the trainer schedule, or their child's school schedule and the trainer schedule. So transportation could be challenging if they were a one vehicle household and both partners were working. So there were a lot of different challenges that we saw that we could assist with. So we started beefing up our email templates. We started adding documents from our resource library, but also from other resource libraries for material that was already created. And we started adding those into our email templates that we were sending out to individuals when they had a common behavior challenge. We all see jumpy mouthy. We all see pulls on leash. We all see react to other dogs. We all see not going in the litter box. So by creating templates with resources that were already out there, my team was able to effectively just send those resources off of a template that we had saved to our Microsoft Outlook inbox. We also beefed up our relationship with local trainers in the area. And what we asked was if they offered discounts if the pets were pushed through our organization versus the individual adopter. So a lot of trainers in your community want to help shelters. And by offering that discount, they're able to allow our money to go further with our donors donating to us, but they're also able to keep that same discount when that person rolls over to continue training with them. So this made it a lot more accessible for people to transition from adopting a dog from one of our programs, like our Unicorn Foster program, to be able to transition into still being supported in the home while that pet was there by us, and then transitioning to continuing with that trainer that they've already built a relationship with. So for our templates, the very first thing my team does is to identify and acknowledge the challenge that the person is facing in the home. At Operation Kindness, we pride ourselves on being kind. We pride ourselves on being empathetic, and understanding that a person is struggling with that behavior in the home. They may be struggling with other external factors as well, is our first thing. So we can always find trainings online, such as the Maddie's customer service training, which goes into, how to bring that kindness and that openness into your organization. We give practical solutions. If I have any trainers on this call, nothing drives me crazier than when I see this long list of things that this person has to do, and they're just like, I just want to fix my cat. Like, I just want him to go in his litter box. I can't read 36 pages. Please help. So we want to give them practical steps that are layman's terms, easy to read. This is what you need to do. And if you are a trainer, you know this saying, when in doubt, refer out. If it's something that is more extensive than what we can offer, we are absolutely honest of that. We will give great management techniques of, hey, maybe your dog should start with muzzle training. And then we refer out to veterinary behaviorists or trainers in the area that we believe can help that individual. So this includes free resources that we can find, low-cost resources, virtual resources, and again, those private trainers. And a quick tip is you do not need to recreate the wheel. So use the resources that are already out there. One of the resources that we use is Good Pup Dog Training. We partner with Good Pup Dog Training because they are absolutely amazing. They are a virtual group of free and low cost virtual positive reinforcement trainers. So they do follow the Lima protocol. They offer 1 week free to anyone that is affiliated with our organization. So this doesn't just mean adopters, but our fosters, clients that are coming in to surrender, clients that are coming in just to inquire. They do offer a discount code to those people that are signing up as well. And they get 1 week free. It is virtual, which means you can take it anywhere. You got 5 kids that are running around in the background, that's perfectly fine because you can set up in the one quiet corner of your house. If you are a student who travels a lot, well, great. You can take your pup with you, grab your cell phone, and you can do training right from your van that you travel in all the time. There's just so many different options that we can offer for different individuals. And it is low cost compared to those sessions that we originally talked about. So instead of paying the $150 for an hour-long session, it's about $30 a week. It's less than $30 a week for people to continue training. They have open availability, so you can schedule your sessions whenever it works for you. And they also have veterinary technicians, which help to triage cases. So if you have a question of, hey, I think I might need to take my dog to the vet, they can let you know if you need to do an emergency, or they can make recommendations for scheduling at your next appointment. So it's a great way to offer accessibility to a variety of different people from the comfort of their home. And there's a QR code that you can scan, but we will be popping the links in the chat as well as on the forum. Good Pup is awesome on the shelter side as well because it has a dashboard feature, so you can actually track and see how many people have signed up for their free session and how many people have rolled over. You can earn money for your organization for each sign up. So they will actually donate back to your organization if someone transitions from their free session into doing their full training every single week. There is no obligation. They can cancel at any time, so they aren't locked into some weird 12-year contract or something of the sort. They will provide flyers and custom marketing material with your organization's logo and information for you so that you're able to post it right up to your social media and put it in your adoption packets. So we really, really, really like Good Pup because it helps with those general training questions of, hey, my dog's chewing, it's jumping, I need help with crate training, I need help with potty training, and they're able to make that really available for people at a very low fraction of the cost. Okay, sometimes we get requests for just those general questions. Hey, I really want, to work with my dog. They're really struggling. Hey, I really want to work with my cat. I'm just not ready for a pet. I didn't know what this was going to look like. How can I fix that challenge? We really love Maddie's University and their courses for bringing home your new cat and bringing home your new dog. These courses are able to support adopters in being able to know what body language looks like. How should I set up the room? What should I do when I bring them home? We also like the fear-free happy homes. If you've heard of fear-free shelter or if you're fear-free shelter certified, this is great because they have these toolkits called Dog 101 and Cat 101. And they help to reduce the fear, anxiety, and stress of transitioning a pet into your home and those decompression resources. So both of these are great to send to your adopters in an email. We're collecting that information. Put it in your template of, hey, thanks for adopting for us. Here are 2 links that you can go to find exactly how to acclimate that pet into your home. And right away, that person feels adopted or feels supported after they've left your organization. You can also send this to people that are coming in and are looking to foster a pet or looking to bring a pet in that they found, but they're like, I can keep it for 2 weeks while we find their owner. Great. Let's set you up with some tools. That way you can transition them while they're in your home. This one is actually a specific request that we received from a client that was looking
voicemail. How are you?
Oops. So this is actually a specific request that we received from one of our clients looking to surrender their pet. They stated that the behaviors or quirks that they weren't fond of were that they would eat anything they see on the floor, get into the trash, tear up covers, nip when playing and excited, jumped on strangers, and ran away instead of coming when called. This 1-year-old neutered cattle dog was saying like, hey, I got a lot of energy. I don't know how to let it out. And they were letting it out in inappropriate ways. They also said that their dog was very sweet and loved to cuddle once he had calmed down. He was high energy, but knew basic commands such as sit, lay, place, and stay. He was very food motivated. He liked to chase rabbits, squirrels, and birds, and he loved to socialize with other dogs, but he did like to hurt them. So there was a lot of potential with this dog. He wanted to work, but the person just didn't know how. They didn't know how to meet those needs of their individual. So we shot him an email. So I'm going to read this for you for those that may be on mobile and it's very small. It says, "Hello client, we received your behavior request for Fido and would love to provide you some resources. From your email, you mentioned that Fido was displaying destructive behaviors, jumping up and greeting new people, and didn't have a good recall yet. I did see it mention that you had started training and he knew a few cues. That is great. With your adoption, you have 1 week free of training with Good Pup. Check them out by signing up here. This way you can work on Fido's behaviors one-on-one with the private dog trainer. A dog that is showing destructive behaviors is oftentimes a dog that is anxious, stressed, or bored. Attached, you'll find some information on how to best meet your dog's needs so that they are able to find appropriate outlets for these behaviors, such as chewing in ways that isn't your furniture. Check out the resources here, and I included our resource for destructive chewing. I also recommend putting some barriers in place to keep Fido from accessing tempting items. Crate training can be a great management tool to help keep Fido safe, as well as replacing the garbage can placing the garbage can in an area that he cannot access, or replacing it with a garbage can with a lid, as leftovers can be tempting. Additionally, without enough outlets, they can become very excitable when meeting new people, causing them to jump up in excitement on strangers. Greetings can be difficult. We understand. So we recommend checking out the Instinct Dog Polite Training course, which is a free course. You will have that link after you've gotten training started with Fido, etc., etc., etc. So we built these templates in these individual paragraphs using their and they, so that we're able to plug in the dog's information, and we are able to piece together this email that we can just shoot off to the person to help address those resources. We use bold text to help guide their eyes to the sections for the links that they need, directly next to the challenges that they were having in the home. And we also include infographics from our website. We are fortunate enough to be able to create a lot of these in-house, so that people have that visual understanding as well. So we have free training courses, which have video and can be accessed literally anywhere, anytime. Training courses that also offer low-cost weekly one-on-one training with a private trainer, and documents that people can save and go back and read or watch later, to help with the decompression period or potty training or cats, inappropriate cat scratching. But don't stress. If you do not have a behavior team that can create these resources for you, again, they are already out there. So over on the side, we have a couple of links, and I believe Lawrence is going to pop them in the chat, from different organizations that have created infographics to help support our owners. If the dog is having challenges greeting people, it's probably because they're doing it inappropriately. So you can send this really awesome infographic in the Polite Dog course to the person so that they are able to help their dog learn how to greet people, but also how to help people greet their dog. We also share information we've learned from our fear-free shelters and fear-free happy homes on how to identify when your pet is actually stressed, as sometimes that can be confusing. And then I love this infographic that is all the way to the right of your screen of how to welcome a new cat. It's really cute, informative. It has easy to digest information in those infographics to help that person really grasp in a quick snapshot what a cat needs as it adjusts into its new environment. You don't have a behavior team? That is not a problem. Use your volunteers. You can make a general email. You can even use Gmail to allow your volunteers to assist with these templates. My team is currently working to build a program with my specialist one. She is going to start training our volunteers to start using our templates from our Gmail account for general questions that people are having. Hey, my dog is really jumpy. We just adopted him last week and we need some help. Great. Our volunteers will know how to patch together those individual templates so that they're able to offer behavior support from anywhere. They don't have to come into the shelter to do it, or they can be on site as well. Ooh, I'm good on time. Okay, my organization has been really supportive. I cannot say enough things about Operation Kindness and trying to help the community have access to as many things as we possibly can. So we have launched behavior workshops, which range to about an hour from an hour to an hour and a half and address common challenges. We have our first 48, which is addressing all of the things that you're going to run into when you come home with your new pet. How do you set it up? When do you introduce it to your family? When do you introduce it to other pets in the household? We usually see pets aren't, doing well after intro, and it's because it happened really quickly. We offer support via email on how to do that. But we also have this amazing workshop that people can come into if they prefer that in-person connection, and it's just $20. So it's low cost, a low entry point. You don't got to commit to 6 classes, and we provide email support after they leave using those templates that we saw before. It also gives our organization great connections with people from the community. Even if they did not adopt from us, they are able to take this workshop. So it's posted on our website. Everyone can see it. Our marketing team lets people know. And it's really helped with bringing individuals in and supporting our community in other ways. Our goals for our upcoming year, we're really excited to work with our amazing community initiatives team. I cannot say enough about the work that they are doing in South Dallas and the surrounding areas that do not have access to the resources that we have up north. We are moving our workshops to being just virtual. So that way, if someone is at home and they aren't able to make it after work or on the weekend, they can still benefit from the first 48 or our peeing, chewing, jumping, oh my workshops, which we address these common challenges. We've partnered with Cuddly to offer workshops for our Good Pup Scholarship. So if you've signed up with Good Pup, you can also partner with Cuddly to be able to have scholarships donated so that when your fosters or adopters are leaving, you're able to send them with training already paid for. And then we are looking to start low-cost training classes right here at our shelter with our own certified trainers. There are other organizations who offer training classes using trainers from their local communities as well. So that was a lot of information, but you guys can join me on the Maddie's Forum and follow along on that discussion for more links and resources that I utilize to support both our cat adopters, dog adopters, and people that are coming in just looking for general behavior resources. So alternatives to surrender, as well as supporting our volunteers, our staff, and anyone that I can talk to about behavior. And that is all that I have for y'all. So there is my contact information if y'all do want to reach out or touch base with me. And I'll go ahead and, send it back over to Jose and Lawrence.
Awesome. This was so, you did it. Do one of these. Do one of these. I love it. Great job, my friend. And if you want, everyone go ahead and screenshot that contact information. And then you can unshare your screen, Shanye, so then we can all look at each other again in our final minutes together. That was really fantastic. The chat was blowing up. There's so much engagement, so many questions, which is why I want to just reinforce something that Shanye was saying, which is, our call ends, shortly. And this is going to be a great topic to go to the forum and have like an ongoing conversation with Shanye, with the collective kind of think tank that is here on this call. So I encourage all of you who posted questions or really, I think, great conversation starters to go onto that forum and start that and repost it there, because I think there's hundreds of chats. I was trying to scroll and look at the questions, and then 15 more would come up and I kept losing my spot and I kind of was getting overwhelmed. So then I was not looking at the chat anymore. We have a few minutes. Maybe we do one question. Lawrence, is there one question you saw in the chat that you thought we want to just ask Shanye? That isn't like a 10-minute answer, but maybe
Well, yeah, that was what I was going to preface. A lot of great questions. I think some of them are great for the discussion thread that we'll have on following here. I think one came from a trainer who mentioned where would you or how would you create the sliding scale for what they would charge for public versus what a trainer would charge or for any clientele recommended through your shelter or a shelter. They mentioned that they did free services for a while, but it didn't really fit with their operation. Mm-hmm. So, how would they go about trying to help provide accessibility, but also provide, be able to hold their lifestyle?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just really want to reiterate, I absolutely think that you should charge what you are worth. That is 110% always going to be my recommendation. You want to make sure that you can support yourself and you can sustain yourself and your family. What I recommend is that if you are able to, instead of donating the, let's say, the 3 hours that you were going to donate to do some hands-on training with a dog at the shelter, are you able to create a resource that they can access at any time? Are you able to create the templates for the organization? Are you able to create the workshop videos? Are you able to create some handling videos that just kind of touch on those general challenges that people see that aren't necessarily behavior modification? Some of those more thorough cases that we see, but are just those, I got a really big 70-pound dog and I don't really know what to do. So you can kind of look at that way. I'd also start brainstorming with other trainers in your area. What are we all trained? What are we all charging? Right? What does that look like? And if you guys can kind of start a collective to start offering organizations in your area lower cost and what that'll look like for y'all. Some of our orgs will do discounts based off of 10%, 20%, whatever they can afford. And some will keep the same rate that they gave us as an organization and just transfer that over to the adopter. I hope that helps.
And I think I have one more that can probably go quickly. But then again, if you miss or we don't address your questions, please go right after here and connect with Shanye on the discussion thread just to continue this discussion because it is a very important one. We have a question asking, I guess, at what point in time do owners tend to reach out to you? Are they near that threshold for surrendering, or are they just beginning to incur issues or just in the beginning stages and have time?
It's funny, I saw that one pop in the chat and the first thing was, ooh, that's a good question. I hope you asked that one. So I'm happy you asked that one. It is a complete fluctuation. We rely a lot on our front end staff, so our client services staff and our intake staff, to tell people, if you need help, please reach out. My mama always said closed mouths don't get fed. So we are telling people as soon as they hit our door, if you need help, we are here. We let people know, hey, it might take 48 hours just based on our availability, but we will get back to you. Some people are at wit's end by the time they do get to us of, hey, my landlord is on my case. It's causing, trouble between me and my partner, whatever their challenge is that they are facing internally. Sometimes they are at that position. We ask on our surrender form, are you interested in behavior resources? If they are, we do offer them. If someone's coming to surrender and we do have to turn them away, we ask, are you interested in behavior resources? If someone comes in and they are just looking for a dog, we ask them, are you interested in behavior resources? So we are asking every single person if it is something that they need. And then if it is something that they're like, yes, I please help me, we will offer those in any way that we possibly can. And that includes reaching out to other organizations, sending them information for DPA pass, or, even reaching out to trainers and saying, hey, we have this case. Is there something that you can help us with?
That's beautiful. I love the humility that you approach with people. I love the lack of judgment, the fact that we're here to help. We're here to resource. We're not here to cast judgments on like, you should have called me sooner. It's like, you didn't. You're here now. How can I help you? Because that is our job, is to promote and preserve the human animal bond, is something that I like to think. So Lawrence, any final thoughts?
No, I'm really going to go back and dig into all of it. I'm glad that again, Shanye, you did an excellent presentation. I've seen a lot of the comments, a lot of the questions. I think you provided a fantastic resource for everyone and really engage folks so they can go back and look at the resources in their area. Because I think that outreach and that community partnership is one that some people may have thought, but really hearing it from you, that may encourage them to take that next step. So I'm glad that you have been again a wonderful proponent for animal behavior and making sure that everyone has accessibility.
Beautifully said, Lawrence. And so a few final things in our last moments together is next Monday is Labor Day. And so those of us who are privileged enough to have the day off, we are taking that Monday off of this call. If you are someone who is working or you manage a team who's working, So much gratitude. Hope you can reclaim your time somewhere else in that week. That's that Maxine Waters, reclaiming my time. Reclaim your time where you can, if you can. And when we return on September 11th, we are going to hear from the dynamic Lawrence, my co-host. He's going to be presenting on the topic top dog adoption decision making factors. So he's going to talk about all of his research. He's doing an incredible PhD. He's going to talk about his master's research from his thesis. It's going to be really, really great. And so just keep that conversation going on the Maddie's Pet Forum. Shanye, you are magic, my friend. Pure magic. And thank you for sharing your gift with all of us today. And may you all have a really great week. Take care of yourself. Do something kind for yourself.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Be well.